Yeah, it might be, yeah.
Hello, I'm Felicia Vereen, always known as Fee.
Hey Fee, and I'm your girl Sharita 3, better known as Fred.
And we are Inspire Her, the Total Woman podcast, a new podcast all about uplifting you.
Yes.
Because friends, face it, you are awesome.
We'll be chatting up about topics we love to talk about. All the things we as women must juggle every day and the ish we complain about. But who's listening? Girl,
we'll
nobody.
chat about the struggle, the job, and about him. You know who we talking about.
Girl.
That boo, husband, boyfriend, ex, whatever you calling them today. Our lovely hellions, kids.
Our angels. But seriously, friends, life happens, and we don't always get a chance to talk about it. We take it on the chin and we keep it moving.
Because that's what we were told to do.
Yep.
But here on Inspire Her, the Total Woman podcast with Red and Fee, we are the friends you love to hang out with. We are here to inspire her, the Total Woman.
Yes.
Hello.
Hey,
Well, hello there, lovely. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Girl, I'm good. I'm good. Somebody, I told you people be in my inbox.
Yes.
They'll be in your inbox. They'll be in my inbox telling me you shouldn't call kids hellions.
Well,
I
that's what they
call them
are.
what I want to call them. But look, I am excited today. We are having a conversation with Mr. Richardson
Well,
today.
hold on, Fee. I want to tell you how you held it down last week while I was getting it in at the 50 Cent show. You
Oh,
held it down
wait,
with young lady.
flowers.
Yes, I am giving you your flowers. I'm gonna bow down to you. You held it down. You held it down. Appreciated
That's
it.
what we're supposed to do. That's
Absolutely.
the show can't stop because my cohort has taken vacation.
Yes, yes, yes,
We
yes.
gotta make
Oh,
it happen.
yes. And we reached 1,000 members.
Yay!
Yay!
Listen, y'all. Seriously, we have 1,000 followers, and we are truly appreciative of each and
Yes.
every one of you. We know that your time has not taken lightly. We know that, you know, just giving us a couple of minutes, just watching our um, podcast, watching our replays, liking a post, giving a comment. We appreciate everything that you do because we need you in order to move on. We have a lot of big things coming. So stay tuned. I promise you, you won't regret it.
Yes. But tonight we have Mr. Celvin Richardson, who is running for school board member in the Matoaca district. That's my district.
Yay.
Yeah. So,
Wait a minute. I got to do something. You've been asking for these sound effects.
yay.
Sound effects.
All right. So Kelvin Anthony Richardson is the sixth child of eight. He comes from a big family. When it comes to athletics, education, and religious devotions, it was hard to prioritize them in a steady order. However, Kelvin had a determined drive to excel in each of them. He made it known in early childhood that he was going to be well known in all of the above areas and joining the wrestling squad in early high school, playing the trombone and serving in the high school ROTC. His high spirited motivation left a legacy of outstanding results with faith when faith and labor team up together. Handicaps can be mastered and overcome. Therefore, he graduated as the Outstanding Handicap Student of the Year. Kelvin has taught 14 years as a special education teacher in 5 different districts. He has taught every grade from K through 12 and every core subject. During his time as a teacher, he was an in service instructor on classroom management and coordinator of the 504 Exceptional Education Services. He was a mentor to new teachers and an assistant varsity basketball coach. Kelvin also served 9 years as a juvenile probation officer. In addition, Kelvin obtained his master's in administration and supervision in education. Currently, Kelvin is a tester slash evaluator at the Department of Correction Schools. That is awesome, Kelvin.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Yes,
I know you're
fantastic.
going to have an opportunity to share to your page. So if you haven't already, please feel free to share this from our page to yours.
So we want to get as much exposure about you as possible. All
Yes.
right.
And I saw something I heard something we have in common. Both of us were in ROTC when we were in high school.
I knew she
Also,
was going to say that.
Which branch were you in?
say that again.
Which branch were you in?
I was in the Army and I was in the Army branch and I went to John F. Kennedy High School. And my senior year, I was battalion commander. You know, I had to add that as well. I was supposed to go into the Army, but when I went into college, things just went a different way.
I understand that. I was first airman because we had ROTC Air Force.
Okay.
Has Air Force with it. So when in college, I chose a different route because after I tested the AFBAT test, I think they said that it was only 19 people that scored higher than me. And I informed them, I said, well, I have a disability, which is missing my thigh bone. And they were like, we don't care. They was like, you score high enough where we can give you a desk job. And I got calls from all of the actual armed forces.
Wow.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Play a lot of sports too. Well, Kelvin, you are in my district, the Matoaca district. What's going to make me vote for you as an independent candidate versus one of the other candidates? A lot of times our votes get taken for granted, so I want to find out what's so special about you and what are you offering that none of the other candidates are offering to make us and me vote for you.
Well, I think there's a lot of distinctive issue. I mean, there's a lot of things that differ me from them. One, like you indicated, that I'm independent, so I'm not with a party. Um, I'm doing this really from a grassroots, small campaign with it. So I'm not um, subjected to party platforms. I'm running against a person that's endorsed with Democrats and one from Republicans with it. So when you endorse with them and you are with them, then you're basically going in with their platform. With me, I'm strictly with classroom, what's going on in the schools. I don't have anybody tugging at me, wondering it's whatever the best program is for the school, the best resources for the school. Another thing that distinctive is I'm the only educator. I'm the only one that's been in the classroom teaching, the only one that's had to do lesson plans, the only one that's had meetings with parents on a regular basis about their child in education. So I understand and I can advocate from a parent because I have a kid that's in Chesterfield School. I can advocate as a teacher because teachers need those resources and support there. And I can advocate as an administrator with following the rules and administrative part of the district. So I think that's one thing that I understand what each party is going through, and with the stakeholders that we deal with in the schools, I think I can come in with a frame of mind that I understand what their feelings are, and it's easier for me to advocate for them when you understand what they're going through.
Okay. So, what does a school board member actually do?
They make policy. They make policy with the schools, and they set the mission and goals and standards for the school. Um, so when it comes into uh, doing the discipline hearings, they set the discipline guidelines, the safety guidelines with the school. They handle the budgeting for schools. They advocate to the board of supervisors for the budget. They advocate for teachers getting their raises, for student programs. So that's basically what the school board is going to wind up doing. And that's something that I know firsthand and can give the board of supervisors actually feedback for somebody that's been in the trenches in the schools, tell them what the schools need.
Okay.
What motivated what motivated you to was there a certain issue that motivated you to want to run?
Uh, I want to. first of all, I want to make sure that we have the best education resources in the schools because I have a daughter in the school, so I actually have someone that I want to make sure is getting the best education. The other thing is working in the classroom and working with the teachers. I understand the need for the teachers, so I want to make sure that they have the proper professional development that they need, the resources and programs that they need, and I want to make sure that the school is running efficiently to make sure that we're being successful with the kids. One of the issues that I have out here right now is the bus situation. Kids are getting to school late. We're having to train bus drivers in there, and there's a shortage. I think for this entire school year, we have been late. The buses have been late here to pick the kids up and to drop the kids off. And we're 25 minutes late. It affects the school day. And then 25 minutes late getting to school and 25 minutes late getting from school.
Wow.
And as a teacher being in the classroom, I really understand how it affects the classroom. You can say that it doesn't affect instruction time, but it does. Because if you're 25 minutes late, you're only in school for those set hours that they have, I think it's 7.3 hours. So if you take
Wow.
25 minutes from that, then you have to either start your lessons late or you have to shorten the lessons to get all the lessons in, which is affecting the instruction. So with that aspect, we need to make sure that we're getting bus drivers in and we need to put everything on the table as far as with handling that situation. And one of the proposals I look at is if we need to hire a private company to come in and supplement the bus drivers. They could come in and at schools that we know that we have a real shortage in, they can handle certain routes or getting kids to school if it's not just the kids around the neighborhood of the school. My school, the elementary school that my daughter go to is right here near the house. It's probably less than a half a mile or a mile from the house. But so kids around there, then you want to make sure they get to school. So it's nothing for you to bring in a bus to get those kids and bring them in and focus on the kids outside. So that's what we're looking at as far as one of the aspects. Then we want to talk to parents. We want to get parents to have a voice in here with it because some of the routes that they're taking to schools are so out of the norm as far as getting kids to school in their neighborhoods that we need to adjust that. And parents probably should have been consulted when the routes was coming up within their neighborhoods because they know the neighborhoods better than somebody downtown would know it. So that's what I'm looking at as far as that. I know one issue came up with times that schools start to stagger it. So we could use buses from to other schools like the middle school and bring them in. And that would be an option too. So it's just a matter of putting all cards on the table with an issue like that.
Okay. Yeah, so this may be a little off, but during COVID, our kids really went through a lot. Would you have done anything differently if you were on the school board at that time during COVID and possibly another wave coming in? What would you have done differently?
Well, I think when you talk about the COVID situation, there were guidelines coming from the state with that schools had to follow with it. I'm a proponent of having kids in the classroom. And we need to do whatever we can to make sure the kids are in the classroom and having instruction, but we want to do it safely. So the option, giving parents options of if they wanted their kid in person or at home would be, we know some kids need to be in the school to get that instruction. And some of the teachers wanted to be in the school for instruction. So I think that's something we should be looking at right now to look at ways to deal with a situation if that might happen again. I think having the situation where we have the kids who need it the most, some of the kids where they need services, exceptional ed services, to have them in the building, that would be a good solution to making sure that most prominent kids that need services are there in the building. And we have the services in there to supply for them. And we will have to look at other ways as far as we're dealing with the rest of the population in the building. But I'm a proponent at all means of having kids in the building.
That's great. I have a question. Oh, well, I have two questions. I know here I have a lot of. I actually work in a private school myself, but I'm an accountant. I'm not a teacher, so I commend all teachers and anybody that work with any of the schools. But here I have a lot of friends that are teachers, and they always they complain about feeling like they're last on the totem pole. They're not being heard. Nobody cares about them. Um, I don't know if it's the same in Virginia or in the Chesterfield area where you are, but let's just say it is. How will you be able to listen to the teachers? Like, will you have the opportunity? Will they have the opportunity? Let's say if you do make it, um, how will that change? Will the teachers be able to have a town hall or express how they're feeling, what in the classrooms, things that they think needs to change? Um, I've always wanted to know how that works.
Well, for me, being that I was a teacher in Chesterfield and just leaving the school district in 2022, which is very recent,
Mhm.
I have a lot of contact with teachers at this moment now and they want to have a voice there. So they'll be able to contact me personally and tell me issues that they might have. But it is that we need to actually get out there and go to the schools. I'm one that I like to get out. I don't like to stay in the office. So I'll be visiting schools where I can hear from the teachers. I would like to go to faculty meetings to sit in and listen to issues that they might have. And with me, I already know some of the issues that they already have. Uh, and I think teachers need to be valued. That's one of the big things that they look at is being valued, having time for lesson planning, unrestricted time for lesson planning. Our collaborative teachers need time for lesson planning, but they need time to collaborate with the teacher that they're teaching with. So we need to make sure that we intertwine that into the school day. We also need to make sure they have the services and the training that they need. Um, I know teachers love their jobs, and a lot of them in Chesterfield are not there for the pay because we are one of the lowest paid in the region, and that's one.
Chesterfield is.
I don't
Yeah,
understand that at all. Teachers, they instill values, they instill instruction in our kids, and they're some of the lowest paid career. That's why people don't like to they go into the career because they love children, like you said, not for the money. And I
yeah,
don't understand that. I really don't understand why teaching is one of the lowest paid careers around.
yeah. And I think when you have a new teacher coming in, they need the most support
Mhm.
Right.
coming in as you can give them. Um, and I know with me, with my mentoring other teachers, you got to understand that some teachers don't even come in knowing how to properly do a conference with the parent
Mm.
or knowing the logistics around the grade book and being in front of students. When you get it changes when you sit there in a classroom and you have 20, 25 kids staring at you and you have them for the day and you're responsible for them. That responsibility goes a long ways when you knowing that parents are bringing their kids to school and you have to protect those kids while they're in your classroom. And you have to make sure that the teachers are well trained enough to be able to go in and not even miss a beat with taking care of those kids, making sure they're getting their education, making sure they're safe in the classroom. So it's a matter of making sure they feel comfortable and they don't feel like they're on the island when they're in the classroom, that they have the support, someone they could talk to. So that's one of the things I did when I was a teacher. Me being a exceptional ed teacher, work with teachers, I went by and taught teachers how to sit down. First of all, write the IEP. Then you have to explain that IEP to the parent, and then you have to conduct your own meeting. But you also have to do all the contacts that you need to with that with other teachers, making sure they know what's in the IEP, how to teach that kid that's on your caseload. So it's a matter of making sure those teachers come in and they understand that. Gen Ed teachers, making sure they understand how the lesson plan go, the curriculum that they're dealing with, and uh, basically looking at their day and um, organizing their time with the lesson.
So another issue sounds like some good stuff. So another issue is the teacher shortage in the county. And what I've seen was like Virginia State University is partnering with some of the, well, actually, Petersburg City Schools is partnering with Virginia State University and bringing in um, individuals who are in the teaching field to come in and teach prior to them even graduating. They're able to go in and teach at the schools, and they're getting paid. May not be as much as a normal teacher who's licensed, but they're able to get that hands-on experience. Is that something that what do you feel about that? How do you?
That's a program that's going around now. Richmond has that same program where when you sign for 3 years, a 3-year contract. Um, and that's something that with us having, I mean, us as in Chesterfield County, having Virginia State in our district, because most of Virginia State campus is actually in Chesterfield. We
Mm-hmm.
should have been partnering with Virginia State. We also have Richard Bland. We have
Yep.
Bright Point. So we have schools here in the district that we can pull from. Just around the river, we have University of Richmond and VCU. We
Mm-hmm.
should be in all those schools, making sure that we pull from those universities good teachers in the classroom and make sure that we give them the support they need. And that's one aspect that we do is we have to be able to promote ourselves. We have 7 schools that are blue ribbon schools. We should be piggybacking on that, promoting that more. We actually need to double that number this year because we got one school that's doing. We have to take the template that that school is using and bring it to some of the other schools to get them up to where those schools are. And I think that's one thing we can use is saying that we're a school district that has blue ribbon schools here. We can give you the support you need within the school, but we have to sell ourselves to the universities and to the kids in there. So that's a nice program to have is making sure we meet with the teachers and the prospective teachers before they graduate to lead them here and do a big group. We can utilize all of Virginia because there are a lot of students that's from Chesterfield that are going to other universities that might want to come home and teach.
Okay. Sounds good. Now, one thing you said a second ago was that um, the teachers can contact you directly. Is that the norm, or for a school board member, or is that just something that you're putting out there to offer teachers additional support?
Well, as a school board member, you always have to leave yourself open to answer questions to your staff. And
Okay.
I've always did that. Even when I was in juvenile probation, I left it open. As a teacher in Chesterfield, parents had my cell phone number, my email address, and they could call the school to get in contact with me. I
Oh,
had no problem, I had no problems doing that. And parents, for the most part, respected that. So I didn't get any outlandish calls. A
Mhm.
lot of calls I got in the morning time was parents notify me that the kid wouldn't be in school, which helped me out in planning my day a little bit better. And I could give that parent resources that the kid needed that would he would miss that day. So they can actually email me, do whatever. I don't have a problem with that. And that's open. But like I said, most time I have friends now that are still teaching in the district and uh, at multiple schools, so they can contact me anyway and they do.
Okay.
And I'm on social media. I'm on Facebook. I really don't do but so much up there now, but I'm up there so they can contact me there. And like I say, call the school board office. They'll be able to contact me there. So I'm open, and because I have to be there for my coworkers and everything.
Okay.
I don't think I've ever had a teacher's cell phone number. That's commendable.
Yeah.
That shows that you actually are that you care.
Well, I come from a family of educators. I have a brother that's a principal. I have another brother that's supervisor for special ed in Norfolk. I have a mother that's retired teacher. My father was a preacher. So that whole aspect of educating people and teaching people, that runs in the family. And it's more of a passion for our family in education than it is for one individual. So we're out to help people.
Okay.
Wow. What have been some of the pros and cons of running a campaign to become a school board member?
Not enough time in the day.
Mm.
And if anybody knows Matoaca District, they know it's a huge district. We're running
It
from
is.
the north part of Chesterfield, which is almost near Midlothian Turnpike, that whole Charlotte Colony, St.
Mhm.
Francis area, and we run all the way down to the Petersburg line to Virginia State. From where the new BJ's is up top, all the way to Amelia County. So it's a huge district, and trying to get all the neighborhoods and try to get your name out there is kind of very hard because you're going to miss somebody. It's not enough time in the day to get to all the neighborhoods to see people and talk to people. And with some of the neighborhoods being as big as they are, um, it's kind of hard to get to neighborhoods and knock on as many doors as you can because you have so many districts. I mean, so many neighborhoods, and they're like mega neighborhoods.
So you
With
have
the
like the Highlands. You have like the Highlands. You got Chesnut Landing. Do you have Woodland Pond? You have Magnolia Green. That area too.
Magnolia Green, Wood Lake, Brandon Mill.
Mm.
Um, you have Harper's Mill, Hampton Park. You have the
Hmm.
Collington, Brandy Oaks area. So that's a large district to get out
It
there
is.
and do because and not let alone I can't forget my Ettrick communities,
Yes,
Trojan
the Essex.
Woods,
Hmm.
College Park, places like that that you really want to get out there and actually talk to the people. So sometimes people only know you from what they see on social media and from what flyers or bulletins you can get out to them. But you try to get out there and you try to have meet and greets to kind of meet them, answer questions with them, and majority of the time, if you send me an email, I try to get back with you with any questions that you might have. Um, if somebody wants to do a meet and greet for me in your area or your neighborhood, I'm up to going to the neighborhoods and talking to people. Any organizations that might want to do something like that, I'm up to coming there and discussing it with them.
Okay.
That's good.
About how many? Yeah, about how many schools do you know offhand? How many schools are in your potential district?
Right off, I know is three high schools: Cosby High School, Manchester High School, and Matoaca.
Okay.
They're high schools. I know we have Bailey Bridge is one of the middle schools.
Hmm.
I'm not for sure how many middle schools, and I don't even want to
A
even
ton of
guess at
elementary
elementary
schools.
schools. Yeah, because
Yeah.
just around me, we have Granger Hall, the new Magnolia, the Mosley Elementary. We have Winnapock Elementary.
Hmm.
We have Alberta Elementary. We have Spring Run Elementary. So that's just the ones right around here. Nonetheless, we have
Oh, okay.
Ettrick Park Elementary, Matoaca Elementary, Matoaca Middle School, Bailey Bridge Middle School.
Mm.
So it's so many schools. I'll start forgetting and leaving somebody out that I really don't want to leave out. But yeah, and you have elementary schools just about every corner, and that's what we're looking at is to have more neighborhood schools and make them more intimate as far as with having smaller classrooms and knowing who you're in the classrooms with. For me right now, uh, kids in my neighborhood go to Bailey Bridge. We have a
Okay.
new school coming in Magnolia Green, and the word that I've gotten is that kids in my neighborhood won't be going to the school that's probably a mile or 2 miles up the street. And I think I have some issues with that. With the school being a couple miles away from my house, but you're going to send my kids 6 miles away, 8 miles away to another school. There's a problem with that logistics with it. So it's a matter of coming advocating for that and advocating for the resources down in Matoaca and Ettrick Elementary to make sure they have the resources and logistics that they need at the schools down there too. So for my district, to advocate for my district, I have like North Pole, South Pole with it. Those are the issues that I have. So and each school has their own culture and their own needs. So there's no one glove going to fit all. uh,
Right.
because we know that Cosby don't have some of the same issues that um, Manchester or Matoaca have
Hmm.
with it. So we have to look at that and look at what issues the schools actually have and deal with it from that standpoint.
Do you
True.
have any events coming up where the community can meet with you?
I have an event tomorrow. I have another podcast meeting tomorrow that I'm on. Um, as far as other events, I'm trying to set up a few more events now. So if somebody wants to partner and host an event, I'll be welcome to come to the event. I'll be in neighborhoods, and I'll be out at some of the other uh, restaurants and stuff. And you'll probably see me at the restaurants trying to do meet and greets there. But
Okay.
we're in the process of setting up that aspect right now with events.
So who's been supporting you on this campaign? Tell us
Uh,
about your team.
it's a lot of family and coworkers. When I
Hmm.
say that we're a small grassroots, we are a small grassroots. So some of the bigger campaigns have, uh, some of the parties supporting them with it, but I'm getting a lot of support from my neighborhood
Hmm.
and friends and family is coming out supporting me. And I think we're doing pretty good right now with
Okay,
it.
good.
But we're
Well, you know
always
where.
always looking for more volunteers and more workers. So please come to the website, sign up to help volunteer, and let's get the word out.
Awesome. Do you have anything else to share about what you're doing? Anything else you want to add?
No, I think that's just about it for me as far as we're sharing stuff. Like I said, anybody have any questions, anything, they can email me or notify me, and I probably will be doing something soon as far as with a question and answer on Facebook or one of the social medias, where I'll be up there answering questions if anybody wants to ask any questions, and I'll put those events out pretty soon.
Sure. Can you give us your or tell us your social media addresses and accounts?
I actually have a website at Kelvin, Celvin, number four, Matoaca.com. You can get me there. You can donate to my campaign. The donations go towards signs that you might see, any newsletters or anything I need to send out to residents because postage is pretty high these days, especially when you're trying to hit a community with maybe 500 to 600 housings there. Um, you can also get me on Facebook and Instagram.
Okay.
All right. I have one more question before you sign off. Do you, as far as the kids in the school these days, I know here we're facing issues where kids are just not, unless they are um, excited about education, they're not being, some schools are not challenging the kids as far as keeping them involved, keeping them enthusiastic about coming to school, helping them learn different things. Like me personally, I think that kids nowadays, they are into um, social media, they're into um, the internet, things like that. I know one school here is creating new ways of teaching the kids, being more interactive with them. Are you all doing some of that as well? Not just the, um, okay, let's sit down and learn this lesson and turn it in. And are you all trying to create more, I guess, interactive ways of learning?
We're bringing in a lot more technology into the classroom, and that's what's needed. Um, and kids as young as kindergarten understands technology a lot. My
A
daughter,
5-year-old
yeah, my daughter picked up my cell phone and was showing me stuff that I didn't know was on my cell phone with it. So they understand technology a lot more than what we as adults do. And that's one of the things. But I think the first thing is for teachers to have that relationship with the kids, to
right.
understand what motivates them. And you have to give lessons that motivate. A lot of times because with me teaching math and teaching various levels of math, I made sure that I hear those lessons, be able to, when I started off, even with the lesson plans, make sure I have what that kid would use that lesson for in their house or in personal use. So if it was something dealing with the algebra stuff, um, when you go to the grocery store, using that algebra to understand the pricing and based on how much money you might have. So this is why you need to understand algebra and equations and all that.
Hmm.
Or with geometry, the measurements and stuff. You might buy a house later on. You need to know what measurements of your room to know what you can fit in the room, how much carpet or flooring you need for that house. You need to go into the store and know that before you get up in there, and not be dependent on the salesman to give you that information. You need to know that yourself. I've been in schools where you would come in and I asked a kid one time, I remember asking a kid one time, what's 2 times 8? He said, hold on, let me get a calculator. And I'm like, a calculator for 2 times 8? So I thought something was wrong with that. They got away from teaching the multiplication chart in schools. We need
Wow.
to get back to some of the basics. In cursive writing is not taught anymore.
Yes, they don't do cursive writing.
Right. So how can you tell a kid to give you his signature, which for me is a must, because in doing IEPs, you have to have the kid sign the IEP. And when they don't even know how to write in cursive, there's a problem. What are they going to do when they go out and have to do a contract or sign the mortgage on the house or something like that, and they don't know how to write it in cursive? So it's a lot of things that we need to go back in and look at with the lessons that we're teaching. But it's a matter of having that relationship with the kids, relationship also with the parents. A lot of times we're looking at bypassing the parent and going straight to the kids for what they think and what they want to do, rather than notifying the parent who has responsibility and custody over that kid. We need to have, the parents need to have a voice in there. So it's a matter of bringing all of them to the table and listening to kids, knowing what they like and understand, and bringing the lessons to them that will make them happy to learn. So that relationship plays a big role with that. That's one of the things that I try to do is talk to my parents once or twice a week so we can have that relationship. So the parents knew where their child was in the school, knew what they needed to do. They knew what assignments they were missing. I'll be on the phone if they're missing an assignment on the phone. I need this assignment in. Can you give me this assignment? I'm putting it in the kid's book bag now. Can I get it back tomorrow morning? We need to get back to that aspect, but we also have to give teachers time to be able to make that contact and that communication with the parents, which comes with that planning with it. So we have to look at creative ways of setting up the planning we have with the schools for that.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Richardson. And I will be chatting with you to kind of let you know what we can do on our end here. But we wish you well and good luck on everything.
Okay, thank you.
If
Thank
I
you.
was in that
Thank
group,
you.
you would have my vote.
Yes, I'm definitely pleased by your knowledge and stuff. But
Yeah.
We appreciate the fact that you wanted to come on here and talk to our audience, because we do have people who listen from that area. So we truly appreciate you, and we appreciate the fact that you want to work for the kids.
Okay.
absolutely.
Most
Where
important.
your applause? Yay.
Hold
All right,
on.
well, we're gonna stay on and
Okay. All right. Like I said,
uh,
that's why you can donate to my website and you can volunteer up there. So please go to calvinmatoaca.com.
Oh,
absolutely. Thank you.
All right.
We'll make a donation. Well,
wait,
that was awesome.
my big face in the camera.
Well, that was awesome. I like that.
That
That's
was.
good.
He seemed like he was very knowledgeable of what the district needed, and how the district needed it, and he gave his phone number to the parents.
Wow.
That
That's
meant, hey, I'm
interesting.
here for you.
Wow. Okay.
I'm definitely here for you. And you saw that comment, your eyes was like, what?
What? I know. I hope everything is okay, Aunt Valerie. Let us know
Listen,
you good.
there was a drive-by. Listen, these are the things that, like, seriously, we need to stop. Man,
We
our
do.
neighborhoods need to stop. Now we
Eight
go
o'clock at night,
for
and we getting
those
this
of you
drive
who
by.
don't know what I'm talking about, one of our guests, which is my aunt, she is in Richmond, Virginia, in Highland Park. And during the podcast, she left a comment saying she had to get off because there was a drive-by shooting, and my little cousin was taking the trash out in the back. And I texted her to see if they were all right, and she had to get down behind some trash cans, and she's pretty shaken up.
Oh wow.
Like, seriously, guys, this has got to stop. I mean, this is a kid. She's a kid. Like, she's scared
Mm-mm.
to death right now.
Yeah, and that's some of the trauma that I deal with. I actually, spoke at John Marshall High School. One of my she's a teacher. She listens to our podcast, Miss Toya. So she always invites me in to talk to her kids. Um, so today I just talked to them about self-care. I wish I would have gone in person because I probably would have gotten a little bit more feedback. I got some feedback, but it's different with this virtual thing than in person. So I think I'm gonna creep up on them. But just, they live in some of the neighborhoods where you have the shootings and waking up to gunshots or
Hmm.
going to school and seeing chalk around. That's traumatizing for these kids. um it really is, and my heart goes out to them. And I'm the therapist. I'm here to support in the kind of way I can with our kids because they need it. They really do. But we're not gonna make this sad. We
We're
got
not. We're
what
not.
we got going on. What we got going on?
Girl, look, listen, I'm not going to let the cat out the bag, but we got a couple of things that in the future that we're going to be doing. One of which we can talk about is we are planning to, um, I'm planning to come to Richmond and we're planning to do a live show. Now, for those of you who have been with us for a minute, um, we have had two no holds barred shows, one with our singles and one with our married couples. And for those of you who don't know what no holds barred is, when you agree to be on the show, you agree to answer whatever question is asked of you.
Anything goes.
And you can't not respond because you agreed to be on the show. But we ask each other to be respectful of each other. But there are
Hmm.
things that men and women just want to know. Sometimes you just want to know. And it's okay to ask. So we're going to have a live show. Now we aren't going to stream it to live, so you will have to be in person.
Right.
And we are aiming for November. We don't have a specific date or place yet, but it will be in November, which of course you guys know is my birthday month. It is my
Yes.
birthday month, November.
Yes. Well, let me ask you, Fee, and this is something that I'm glad we had a little bit of time. But this controversy surrounding this comment Tyler Perry made about the man paying as long as he can pay your light bill, and so
Babe.
that was a whole thing. What are your thoughts on that?
Okay, so let me say this. Let me say this, and I really do hope that he does not mind. When my ex-husband met me and we got married, I made more money than him. And I think he wanted to be the man. I mean, well, he was the man. Let me back up. Not he wanted to be the man. He was the man. He is the man. He was the man.
Mm-hmm.
As head of the household, he wanted to pull his share. Now, mind you, he already had two kids and child support, but he wanted to pay half. And I'm like, okay. But that was a struggle. That was a stressor on him. So did I mind paying some extra things?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't, because I know that he was all in for the family. He did everything that he needed to do. Now, sometimes people get it mistaken that it's your money and my money. No, it's our money. Once they come together, it's our money.
Mm-hmm.
But what I will disagree with is I ain't gonna come home and you laying on the couch with your feet up watching the game or whatever it is you watching.
Twiddling your toes.
You twiddling your thumbs and you talk about here, babe, I got the money for the light bill. No, no,
Mm-hmm.
no, no, no. That's when I got a problem. But if you out there doing what you do and not just so happen to make more money than you, I'm okay with that. But there's some women out there that's letting men just sit at home, not do anything. And Tyler, yeah, that ain't gonna work for me. But like he said,
No.
it's what makes that woman happy. If she wants to be used,
Why is that her being used though?
Because I just feel like, man, look, I feel like the man needs to be out there work. If you laying around on the couch and you are able to work, what? Go get a job.
No, I'm gonna drop you off at work and I'm gonna go back and get in the bed
You
in
gonna
your
hold
car.
my car and drive around while I'm at work. And then when it's time to get off work, I'm on the corner calling you, asking you where you at. Stop.
Can you pay my bills? Can you pay my telephone bills? Do you pay my
You
automobile? Do you think that maybe we could chill? I don't
playing, you
think you do.
girl, Tyler Perry,
So
Tyler
you.
Perry almost got canceled by some women.
I ain't even gonna say what I told you privately, but hey.
Tyler Perry almost got canceled by some women. I mean, listen,
Mm-mm-mm.
I get it. I understand there's new women nowadays and they want to do what they want to do and yada yada yada, but I'm allergic to that. I'm allergic to coming home seeing my man just sitting around. He ain't trying to work or he
But
just
that's not what he's saying.
no.
If you make 100,000 and he makes 45, I mean, are you lowering your standards because he makes more money than you? He may bring value in other ways. It may not be financial, but he
He
may
can have
bring
dinner
value in
on
other
the table.
ways.
He can have dinner on the table.
But see, then you want to make him your servant. Like
No,
he
that's
needs to
not.
do
Nope,
something.
nope, nope. That's not the case. Because listen, if you
Tell me.
if you can take care of all the cars and I ain't got to take my car to the shop, that's value. If you can
Hmm.
cook and I ain't got to worry about running get the kids, work, come home, cook dinner, that's value. I mean, whatever you can do to add value, that is value.
But why does it have to be a service? Why it can't be the way he makes you feel and how he loves you and how he supports you in other ways? Why does it have to be a service for him to
For
add
the,
value?
for the man that is working and just so happens to make less than me. But for the dude that's just trying to lay up, ain't trying to look for nothing. I mean, there's people out here making bank, driving for Uber. Stop playing. There's plenty of ways to get jobs out here now. So the one that's making $45,000, okay. But for the other one that's working hit or miss, every time somebody make him mad, he quit. Nah.
What
Yeah.
if, but see, if you, a certain type of woman, is not even gonna go for that type of dude anyway.
But you don't know that. And I have. I have. I have. Back in the day, in my 30s, late 20s, when I ain't know no better. May have been mid 20s. I ain't know no better.
But
I
that's different.
and I can't say I ain't know no better because I did know better, but I just liked him. He was just
But you
fine.
were but you were in a different
Did you
stage
hear
in your
me?
life.
Just
I,
fine.
I heard you. He was fine. But you were in a different phase and
Right.
stage of your life, so it didn't matter about the finances. I think it's to each his own. I mean, I don't see a problem with what he said, and I mean I do as far as if he pays the light bill. I think it was taken out of context. The same way the whole Ebony K. Williams comment was taken out of context about not dating a bus driver. I think we hear things the way we want to hear it and we interpret it how we want to interpret it to create an issue. If
No,
you
I think people heard exactly what Tyler Perry said. They just didn't like it. I think they heard it, understood it.
yeah, they
Like,
interpreted it the way that they wanted to interpret it.
like I said, I don't have a problem with the guy that's out there making an honest living and he just happens to make less money than me. I don't have a problem with that at
He
all.
could look. He could manage his money very well. You know, I feel like sometimes when you make more money, it's like you spend more money. But when I made less money, I felt like I had more money. But then when you started making more money, it's like, hey, where's my money going? And I think it's because you taxes number
Your
one. But then
label,
when you making more money,
your labels start to get a little bit more expensive.
that's true too.
You ain't going to the rack room to buy your shoes no more.
That's true.
You know, you got a little red on the bottom of your shoes.
Well, that's true too.
And like me, I ain't going to rack room to get the purse. I got a little Louis Vuitton on my shoulder.
Right,
Listen, um, I think part of it too is that even though we say that, I know in my situation, and he admitted it, I think men, even though they say they're okay, I don't think a lot of men are okay with making less money than their woman and having the woman pay for these things. You know, a lot of men weren't raised like that, and even though they have to deal with it, or you know, they have a wife that is saying, "Baby, it's okay. When the money comes in, it's ours." Sometimes I think, and listen, for those who are listening, correct me if I'm wrong. Some men still feel like it's emasculating. I
right,
think I think it's still there, even though they say it's okay. And I just think that my ex-husband, he used to work a lot, and I think he worked a lot to be able to do what he did.
right. To do his part.
Right.
So I want to play his clip. It's about 58 seconds long, just to kind of get a clear understanding of what exactly he
All
said.
right, let's go.
So let's do this. Oh, let me know if you can hear it because I got my earbuds on.
If that man works, at whatever job, and is a good man and is good to you, and honors the house and honors his wife and does what he can, because his gift may not be your gift.
Exactly.
That is okay. That's not somebody who's beneath you.
Yeah.
That's somebody who came to love you at your worth. Right?
When I got with my ex-husband, he didn't even have a checking account. But by the time we divorced, he was making almost $500,000 a year. Why? Because I understood my role and I was his helpmeet. I was his support. I was his fulfillment. I helped to do those things that he wanted to accomplish in life. And there are a lot of women who are coming to the table not even wanting to build a man, not even wanting to help him with his dreams so that they can get to the point that he's making more and doing what he's supposed to do in life.
There's nothing wrong, absolutely nothing wrong with that. Listen, don't, I'm talking to myself. I've already heard this, and Sheree's already heard this as well. I don't think he will have a problem with me saying this. My ex-husband had a 600 credit. No, I didn't. It was low. It might have been lower than that. And I was able to help him understand how to raise his credit score. Now, ladies, listen. Don't get caught up if a man is making a good living. Maybe not be making as much as you, but he's making a good living and he's doing what he needs to do in the household, and you love him. Don't discredit that, because you may find yourself on the other end. Now, I never discredit my ex-husband. It was different reasons why we're divorced, but still very good friends. I lost my job during COVID. Now, I still make a good living. I make a lot of money. But my ex-husband now has close to an 800 credit score and is making more than me.
Mm.
So if you value that man and you can help him climb, build, and he can help you, by all means. Like you said, when the money comes in the house, it's ours.
Right.
If you love each other. Now, the people that feel like, oh, he's beneath me, this, that, and other, you don't love that man. Let him go. You don't love that man. And that's my 5 cents. And I'm standing on that from experience.
Stand on them.
Standing on them hollow grounds. I love you. We can cut up. We can talk about serious stuff like running for school board, and then we can cut up.
Yes.
That just
Yes,
is
this
what it
is good
is.
stuff.
That's what you get when you get inspiration from Red and Fee.
Absolutely. We like to have fun, be silly, talk. We always talk about meeting, about our podcast, and we end up talking about all kinds of things under the sun. But the podcast. I'm like, we need to meet. We need to meet. I'm
We're
like,
getting
see,
ready
we
to
be on the phone every morning for hours,
we
but
get
we
ready to
never
have a
talk.
meeting on Thursday
Yes, we
when we
are.
are going to listen, y'all. We be coming up with stuff and talking about it off the top of our heads when we come on here with you guys. So sometimes it's well thought out, well planned, questions put together, but 95% of the time we're just talking off the cuff.
But that's the blessing about it, being natural and just coming in and talking about whatever. Yeah.
Right, right. And that's the same thing that we're going to do when we get together in Richmond. We're gonna have some fun. We're gonna have a nice little DJ. We might have some food with some crackers and cheese and some grapes for y'all.
Some finger foods. No, we gonna have some
We're
good
gonna have
food.
some fun. We are going to have some fun. And we got some guests that are coming up that are awesome.
We do.
We have a group here. Um, Well, her name is T. Collins here in Savannah, and she has a awards. Well, she has an organization, The Good Life, and they're recognizing women that are doing great things here in the Savannah area. She has
Mm.
an event on October 29th, I believe it is. I think it is, and her podcast will be the last Tuesday in October, right before no, it's gonna be the 24th, I think it is, right before that event, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm looking forward to that. And then we have one of our alumni that's doing huge things. We don't have a date for him yet, guys.
Oh yeah.
We are super proud of him. He has a new line of bags
Bags.
out. And I
The weekender.
the weekender and a purse out as well. So, ladies, look, we bring these men
Oh, you
on
got a purse.
you guys, and don't think it's not a benefit because these men are doing some great things on our behalf. So, this weekender is nice, and I've ordered mine so that I can have it when we interview him. What else we got coming on? Oh, oh, I haven't told Red this, but for Halloween, Red and I are going to have on our costumes.
We are.
I think it's fun. I think it would be
It would be
fun.
fun.
We come
It
on
would
here
be fun.
dressed up in our costumes. I think it would be fun. So,
Oh,
ladies, listen. If you want to come on with your costume, come on. I mean, from behind the camera and show us your costumes. We might even send you a gift for best costume. We might need to advertise that. I
yes.
think
And
that
we're
would.
gonna be coming out with some merchandise too. We need to talk about
Yep.
that too.
Yep, 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 yep. We are going to have our own Inspire Her. We have a new logo that we are currently showing, and we're going to have T-shirts. We're going to have sweatshirts, mugs. Um, we're going to show you that real soon, real soon. So we doing some things, guys. So stick with us. And for those of you who are watching us in replay mode, listen, we love y'all. We know that
We
everybody
do.
doesn't get a chance to get on here live. We see the numbers, we see how many views, how long you're watching. We appreciate that. And you have helped us to hit that 1,000 mark. We were so excited.
Yeah, we were. We
Excited.
are. We still
And
are.
now we're excited to get to 1,500, then 2,000.
Yes.
Listen,
Yes.
you've
Yes.
given
Yes.
us
Yes.
two
Yes.
big things, and you've been with us. Then some of you been with us since the beginning, so
Mhm. On
we
another note, how you doing? What you seen your baby? I know yesterday was National Daughters Day, and thank you, Jayla, for putting yourself out there because Mama totally forgot. But how you doing?
I
How
ain't
my
forget
girl
the
doing?
baby. I did not forget the baby. I put her on the page.
Yes, you did. I appreciate
I
you
did
for
not
that.
listen. My baby came here this weekend. When she got here, I was doing something. She went to a football game. Saturday, we went to a birthday party. She went out with her friends. I saw her all of Sunday. Then she went to get her hair done, and she was off to school early Monday morning. So I saw her like, "Hey, give me a hug."
Angie was like, peace.
I mean, did I do that to my mama? I think I did. I probably.
Probably.
I mean,
Probably.
I'm getting it. I'm really getting it. I mean,
You
this.
probably did.
I'm like, okay, thank God for FaceTime, which we do quite often.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm becoming okay. The empty nester syndrome is real. For those of you who don't know,
Yeah.
I have cried. Yes, I have. I miss my child, even though she was in her room. At least I knew she was in the house.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm okay. I'm doing good. I don't call her every 5 minutes. I'm not checking Life 360 every 5 minutes anymore.
She said anymore.
So I'm good. I'm good. I need to
Good
do.
for you.
I'm gonna start getting on the travel mode again. So who
Well,
knows?
good.
What's going on with you before we sign off?
Just work, just work, just work. So I am trying to figure out if I don't have a website, and I know that that's important to have. So I'm just trying to figure out getting the right website for my business. And I found this young lady who actually, my new LPC, she referred me to her. So, and she's an African American young lady.
Oh,
Her name is Dr. Cynthia Vidal. So, I'm definitely going to have her do our website. So, kind of get us out there a little bit more and branding and stuff. So, just focusing on that. You know, I always talk about brand is important. So I just need to go ahead and do it. To find time to send her the information and get my website up and moving. So that's what I'm working on. Just business, building my business, generational wealth, just trying to do that so I can stop spending or either pay for the stuff that I'm buying.
that's right. I am definitely loving the fact that we did not have to take out a student loan for India. She's doing her part with her scholarships, and we're doing our part. And hopefully, we can remain that way because I do not want my baby to be in debt when she comes out of college. So, uh,
No, mine won't be, but I will.
oh, I was, but it's paid off now. So, thank you, God. Is all I can say.
Yeah.
All I can say. But listen, guys, we appreciate you guys for hanging in there with us. We will be back next Tuesday with
Yeah.
another episode.
Yes. Thank you for everybody that tuned in. And again, good luck to Celvin Richardson.
Yes.
We are here to inspire her, the total woman.
Yes.
Yes.